We're back.
Breaking news. So, Greg,
787-3397.
or Mark at thinkingrealestate.com.
Yeah,
Yes.
send us your list. I think what we're gonna do is create a Facebook for people, you know, if you go on MLive, you go to MLive and you read the blogs. No, there's only a couple people, you know, who's writing them, you know, because they actually put their name there. So I don't think they're legitimate unless you have real names. So I think a Facebook, Jackie, we'll set that up. We'll break that announcement next week,
I don't know
where
what
you
you're
could go
talking
on
about.
Facebook and tell us your ideas on the pluses and minuses and how you would improve Jackson. And let's see if we can make it the place,
Make it so.
make it happen.
So, Greg, guess what a 15-year fixed rate mortgage is right now? 15-year. 3.75.
I was gonna say
3.875, and 30
something.
years is 4.625 to 4.75.
How about that?
It's dependent upon credit scores,
Yeah.
obviously.
Okay.
But that's
Down payment? That a
yep.
factor?
But if it's a refinance, then it wouldn't. It would just be dependent upon credit score. And
Are you
appraisal.
taking calls, Mark?
Yes, but before we do that,
Okay.
To our listener who called and asked about those credit or those interest rates, those came from Brandon Adler at Fifth Third Bank, and his number is 783-3519.
Okay.
So thank you,
Thank you,
Brandon.
thank you, Brandon. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The access we have in Jackson County, beautiful illuminated cascade.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Sure.
I
Over the
agree.
years, when I was a young man, we drew hundreds of thousands of people during the summertime. Now, Mr. Gorbachev gave one gesture not long ago, several years ago. Just tear down that wall and get these people back into town to visit Jackson Lake.
I think that's a good idea. I think that's a great idea. I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't
wholeheartedly.
like that wall.
And
Thank you, Dick.
I love the history of Cascades.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, Sparks talks about it every
Well, I kind of lump that in with the parks. I mean,
Right, but that's a special one. I mean, I'd love to
they're
see
all
this.
special.
I'd love to see the city of buy the Maz's home and turn that into a museum, because there's talk about history. I mean, it's just could be amazing.
Is that in the city?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Because Cascades is not in the city, or at least most of it. That's in the
That's
county.
Parks.
right. That would be Summit Township.
Well, it's county operated.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think the city ends right after Cascades Drive, that subdivision. Right after the Manor House.
And Brown Street on one side is city, and the other side is Summit.
Right, so,
But that's a
Yeah.
right.
But I agree with that wall idea. I think that wall needs to come down.
And then I read an article about why it got put up, but with another caller?
Are you taking calls?
Yeah.
Good morning.
Morning, Greg.
Morning.
We need a roller coaster in this town
Roller coaster.
and a couple more marijuana dispensaries.
Just sit tight.
How many can you have?
By the end of the week.
How many can
Right,
you
they're
have?
growing, they're growing like by leaps and bounds.
And someday they'll go up and smoke.
Well, the other place that was interesting, mentioned in this article was Oakland County economic development in Michigan, and how Oakland County took the approach as they looked at the county as a whole, and then they took little communities within the county and started focusing on their assets and highlighting.
That's, correct me if I'm wrong, probably not a typical county in Michigan. Pretty well to do. Oakland County.
It's all relative. But yes, I would agree
Well,
with
they're
that.
going to have some low parts too.
Well, yeah.
It's not all well-to-do.
Anyway.
But on
Anyhow.
a,
But this says
Compared to date.
authenticity is the key. How you brand is critical, but branding has to have reality behind it. You have to take a critical look at your geography and resources and understand what your place-based assets are. So just because one community has these assets doesn't mean our community has it.
Mark, are you taking
I
calls?
would say duh to that.
Good morning.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
I was just wondering, it's kind of hard to compare Detroit to anything but Baghdad, isn't it? They have a green zone where it's relatively safe, and if you move out of the green zone, you sort of take life in your own hands, right?
Well, the point
it's
of all
rough.
of this
It's
is-
still rough.
Well, the point is, it can change. If you have the attitude it's going to be bad and it's going to stay bad, it will stay bad, but it can change. We can put our positive thinking to good resources, and Jackson has got a lot of amazing
And I think,
features.
and I liken that to when people ask me. I had dinner one night this week with a couple of old high school friends, and they're like, "Oh, how's real estate?" It's awesome.
Yeah.
We're busy. Prices are terrible, but we are busy and stuff. Things are selling.
And everything's a challenge.
But you know,
But you got to start somewhere.
exactly. And you got to show up every day.
Exactly.
Yeah, yes.
So
So what?
so
So what are you going to do about it, Laura?
I'm going to set up a Facebook, and then you can all come to the
Really?
Facebook and make comments about
Comment
comment. I don't want to
on
hear.
placemaking.
Right. If you've got a negative, give us a solution or a thought. But don't just. I was reading a blog the other day, and I couldn't believe the name calling that was going back and forth.
Locally?
That's just That's
On
just.
what topic?
I know it had to do with the city or the fire department, I think, and I'm just thinking that's just unnecessary.
Unproductive.
Yeah, name calling isn't necessary. Give me thoughts, give me ideas. I read them.
Then what do you do with them?
Yeah. And she calls it names.
I hope to do something with them. I haven't had the opportunity
Okay.
to do something yet.
Are
You
you
got to
still-
elect me. and
Are you
I'll
still
do what I
running for
can.
Congress?
Not yet, but give me enough encouragement. Maybe I would.
You can contact Laura at 780-3800.
That's right. Or you can get Mark there too.
Go to thinkingrealestate.com.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or email us.
You can probably relive this show later today.
That's right. You can go to the website,
That'd be worth your half hour.
I agree.
All right, so next week we'll give
18
you
minutes, actually.
reason to tune in.
Next week.
Next week, tune in and we'll tell you what the Facebook page location is.
Oh, we have to wait a whole week for
Yeah,
that?
well, maybe I could email you.
Yeah, call me.
And Jackie's back there rolling her eyes because she knows she's the one who's got to set it up.
Poor-
But-
So
poor
what
Jackie.
parting words of wisdom have you?
I have Fifth
You
Street.
can make a difference.
You can make a difference.
I agree with that.
You can. You can't just sit there on your hands and complain, because eventually people stop listening to you.
Right.
So, anyhow, 202 5th Street in Vandercook has been reduced to 46.5. They will take a land contract, so it's 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, no basement, but a nice open floor plan with a nice backyard that's fenced in. And I don't know. We're on hold on open houses right
Okay.
now.
Mark, anything? Nothing?
I've just got great listings. Seriously.
All over the place?
All over the place. I've got a great house on Horton Road, a classic old colonial Cape Cod on 2.5 acres. Just beautiful place.
Right out here?
Right out here.
Wow.
House on Eagle Drive at the Country Club of Jackson. Great price, great layout.
That one's a nice price,
It's
under
awesome.
$300.
$299.
Yeah.
Just a really great place.
I think we're seeing a shortage of really good houses in the 150 to 175. But just because we're seeing that shortage and you want to put your house on the market doesn't necessarily mean your house is worth that price.
Right.
So don't come to me with a $90,000 house thinking just because we have a shortage of 150 to 175 that's where it's
But you can try it. Hey, we'll see you next week.
We'll be here.